Hi everyone. I think my head is cut off. I need to adjust this a little bit. I am glad to be here. I'm Sharon Buck. I'm here to welcome you again to another in a series of Sound Bath Sundays. I would love to know where you're from. If you're here, say hi and just say where you're coming from today in the chat. If you're listening to the replay, please type replay in the comments. Last week we talked about clearing the clutter, and then we experienced a sound bath to release the clutter, and that was in our minds. And of course, some of that can be exterior too. Some of you might have had the urge to tidy things up around your house. I certainly did. Today we focus on the inner light that we all have. Most of us have shadows in our lives, whether they are shadows of old memories or other people's shadows that we have taken on. Part of the reason I'm so drawn to sound healing is how it can literally pull the shadow out of us and replace it with light. I have personally witnessed some amazing transformations, but it takes commitment and a willingness to let go of the past and take steps forward into the unknown. I'd like to offer you a unique opportunity. I've opened up a few spots in my schedule next week to talk to whoever feels like they want to move forward in their lives and experience more light and lightness of being. If you'd like to talk with me about what's been holding you back and get more clarity about how you can get to where you want to go, whether in your personal or professional life, you can schedule what I'm calling a sound path clarity session. Just message me on Facebook. When I think of light, I can't help but recall singing This Little Light of Mine as a child. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bush, oh no. You remember that one? Well, it wasn't until I was preparing for tonight that I read up on the song's origins. This song was a song of the freedom movement, and it gave people protection and courage to face the unimaginable. I found a news article that said that after a recent protest that was beginning to turn violent, someone who was part of the counter-protest said he felt a sudden inspiration to start singing the song, This Little Light of Mine. And then one by one, people joined in. It caught the protesters completely off guard. He reported they didn't know what to do with all that joy. We weren't going to let the darkness have the last word. Wow. We're not going to let the darkness have the last word, right? The power of music, the light shining through quelled tensions in that moment. Something so simple and yet so life-changing, life-giving, and so profound. It takes courage to peel back the layers of our, what I want to call, false selves. We have layers that dim our light, like a dusty lantern or a foggy pair of glasses. We cannot see clearly. Often we cannot even see we are blinded. And we cannot see ourselves or others clearly, and this causes us much pain. For we are not living from our best selves. We are not living from our core, and we know deep down we are not living life to its fullest or enjoying all that life has to offer. And we forget that our greatest gift is life itself. We are privileged to be here, yet we often forget. We walk through darkness, slightly numb, just taking another step, but not knowing where we're going. Or worse yet, we deny that we are living in a darkness of our own making. The thing is, we have a choice, and we have a voice. We do not have to live in this darkness. We can change our perception. I don't know about you, but I love candles, especially at this time of year. Candles lit in the dark seem to shine ever brighter. We see the contrast it takes our breath away. We are all little bits of sunlight, made of stardust and sun energy. We are literally made of light. We get so buried in our darkness and we forget who we really are. Crystal singing bowls literally resonate with our light being. They help us remember who we are. They blast through our dark defenses and hone in on our powerful light. Sound reminds us who we are and that we are it at the core. We are light beings, and the world needs our light now more than ever. The world needs us to brilliantly shine our hopeful lights and remind others that they too are of the light, even if they've temporarily forgotten that. The solstice is a turning point where we move from the darkest days to gradually longer days, more light. I even got my little special lights to remind us. It's a time of expectant hope, a celebration that darkness has given us in contemplation and reflection. Now is an immense opportunity to call forth our best selves, to unpack the loads we've been carrying and seize the day, or carpe diem, as the Latin saying goes. In choosing the singing bowls for tonight's bath, I was drawn primarily to the heart chakra and the solar plexus, and those are the bowls that I have here tonight. And 4 of them create lovely binaural beats. The solar plexus bowl is one of my larger bowls, and you can't see it, well, maybe you can, just a little bit over here. It's huge. And I also have my Super 7 bowl, which is coming along for the ride that covers all the 7 chakras. Follow me as we travel from the darkness of our own making into the emerging light of consciousness and love. It's the poem I want to share with you, Winter Solstice. When you startle awake in the dark morning, heart pouncing, breathing fast, sitting bolt upright, staring into dark whirlpool, black hole, feeling its suction. Get out of bed, knock at the door of your nearest friend. Ask to lie down beside, ask to be held. Listen while whispered words turn the whole into deep night sky. Stars close together, winter moon rising over white fields. Nearby wren, rustling dry leaves, distant owl echoing. 2 people walking up the road laughing. Let your soul laugh. Let your heart sigh out. That long-held breath so hollow in your stomach, so swollen in your throat. Already light is returning. Pairs of wings. Lift softly off your eyelids one by one. Each feathered edge clearer. Between you and the pearl veil of day, you have nothing to do but live. When you startle awake in the dark morning, heart pouncing, breathing fast, staring into dark whirlpool, black hole, feeling its suction. Get out of bed, knock at the door of your nearest friend, ask to lie down beside, ask to be held. Listen while whispered words turn the whole into deep night sky. Stars close together, winter moon rising over white fields, nearby wren rustling dry leaves, distant owl echoing. Two people walking up the road laughing. Let your soul laugh, let your heart sigh out. That long held breath so hollow in your stomach, so swollen in your throat. Already light is returning, pairs of wings. Lift softly off your eyelids one by one, each feathered edge clearer between you and the pearl veil of day. You have nothing to do but live. The rebirth of our souls calls to us. The desire to live more fully calls to us. All that stands in the way is ourselves. Everything that seemed to be outside of us is now happening to us. We now realize we have the opportunity to release. If you have a chance to take a look outside tomorrow night, you know that Jupiter and Saturn will be the closest they have ever been since 1262. So talk about a bright light. They will be very bright together. I hope you can take a moment to look at those two planets and their bright star. I have two announcements I want to make. A reminder that if you'd like to delve deeper in with me, sound healing, and see what it can do for you, I have a few openings next week for a free sound path clarity session. Just private message me on Facebook. And a reminder, for some of you may not know, we have a few new members here now. On New Year's Eve at 8 o'clock Pacific, we will be celebrating New Year's Eve sound bath style. So with the first ever duo sound bath with myself and my colleague Mickey Purnell. She's in California and I'm out here in Seattle area. But thanks to the internet, we can go live together in a joint event right here, 8 p.m. Pacific, New Year's Eve. So I hope to see you then. So in closing, one more quote, this time from I Ching. For today, let yourself rest in the peace of darkness, knowing the changing of the season and the return of brighter days is ahead. Be reminded you are always connected to Source, and your inner light never dims, makes the heart soar. Thanks so much for being with me today, and we'll be seeing you soon, I hope. Take care, and I'll see you next time. For now, blessings to you. Have a good evening.